Good afternoon. It's Monday, July 22nd. Welcome back to the Oneida Nation Reservation here in Wisconsin to Facebook Live. I'm Bobby Webster. I'm the Public Relations Director for the Oneida Nation. And today we have with us Michelle Myers, who will be doing our public health update. We also have with us the interim chair from the Oneida Election Board with us today. So we did want to start with our update, and then we'll go into a presentation by Twylite. And afterwards, we'll take questions. Again, please keep your questions relevant to the presentation today. We'll do our best to answer those questions. And those that we can't answer today, we'll look for the answers, and we try to post them on our COVID website as usual. So with that, Michelle, give us our news today.
Thank you, Bobby. Good afternoon. So I'm going to start with some updated statistics on COVID cases. Globally, there are 8,975,776 confirmed cases with 468,589 deaths. In the United States, there are 2,280,969 confirmed cases with 119,977 deaths. For Indian Health Services, there's a total of 17,089 confirmed cases. For the Bemidji area, 322. Albuquerque, 912. Navajo, 7,835. Phoenix, 3,935. For the state of Wisconsin, there are 24,819 confirmed cases with 744 deaths. For Outagamie County, we have 396 cases with 8 deaths, and in Brown County, we have 2,580 cases with 39 deaths. The specifics for the Oneida Reservation, in Brown County, we have 20 confirmed cases, no deaths, and no one in isolation. For the Outagamie County, we have 28 cases, 2 deaths, and we have 1 individual in isolation right now. So over the weekend, we have seen an increase in positive COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin and in several other states. As we have talked about over the past few months, one of the challenges of COVID-19 is the length of time that goes between the day that you're exposed until when your symptoms appear. And this can be any time between 2 to 14 days. Everyone plays a role during a pandemic. We want you to know the Health Division remains ready to respond should we suddenly see an increase in positive COVID-19 cases. But just as important is the role of the community. Please continue to do your part every day. Take steps to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Wear a facial covering when out in public. Avoid gatherings in groups larger than 20. Practice social distancing. Wash your hands frequently. Cover coughs and sneezes. And regularly clean high-touch surfaces. And then for the Health Division updates, just a reminder that the COVID-19 drive-through testing hours are now Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, and you do not need an appointment. And as always, if you have questions about your risk for COVID-19, please reach out to your medical provider. That's what I have today, so I'll turn it over to Twylite.
Thank you. I'm here today to speak about the 2020 general election and to let the membership know that the election board is working diligently to ensure that we are conducting a general election on July 25th. Those polling locations will be open in Oneida and Milwaukee. We do have a couple of different options available to the membership with regards to coming in to vote. We have a drive-up option that will be available at both locations. We also have the ability for people to come in, and we are looking at still providing separate hours for elders to come in, so special hours for those elders to come in and vote prior to the membership to try to reduce the risk. So for the election board this year, it's been a crazy year for us to be conducting elections. Several challenges have come forward due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's given each of us challenges in all different parts of our lives. And for the election board, the challenge has been now to bring the Oneida Nation voters together while maintaining the social distancing and staying at home is the best way to protect against the spread of the virus. We also have to protect our poll workers, and we'll spend all of the election day helping our citizens to get their voices heard at the polls. Another challenge this year has been our board members are almost all new. The election law states that members shall recuse themselves from participating in pre-election, election day, and post-election activities when the member is a petitioner, applicant, or candidate in any election and there is otherwise a conflict of interest. So this year presented us with a number of conflicts of interest, and a number of the election board members recused themselves. I do believe that we have one remaining election board member, with the rest being all alternates, I believe appointed within the past month. We did take the action to cancel the primary. I want to assure the membership that that was not done lightly. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic occurring and with the recusals of the board and the new appointments, it was physically impossible for us to safely conduct a primary at that time. There was just not the PPE that we needed. We didn't have the ballots. There was a number of challenges that just made it physically impossible for us to be able to conduct that primary. I believe that some of our officers or some of our board members took their oath of office on Wednesday. There was an emergency meeting Wednesday held that night, and another meeting the next day with regards to that primary specifically. It was a very short turnaround. We literally had about 3 days to get the primary conducted if we were going to move forward with it, and it just wasn't able to happen. So I want to assure the membership that we did that with great respect for the process and understanding how that is going to affect the elections. Also, like I said, there will be 2 voting procedures available to the membership to come in on the 25th. We will be requiring everyone to wear masks. We will have hand sanitizer available for membership, and as well as co-workers. And like I said, special voting hours for elders to come in and anyone that might be have some special needs that may need assistance getting their ballot filled out and voting completed. The board has not yet decided exactly what the hours are for the elders to come in, but we do anticipate that those will probably be the early morning hours, most likely between 7 and 9 a.m. for elders. Everyone will need to be requiring to maintain the 6 to 10 foot social distancing at the polls. You're going to receive a pen that you'll carry with you and you'll take with you, so that we won't have to worry about cross-contamination or handing out new pens, or that your pen that you're getting a clean pen. It will be, yes, a clean pen. It'll be handed to you out of the box, and you'll carry that pen with you throughout the voting process. There will be plexiglass barriers at the tables. Drive-through voters will be using clipboards, and all of those, of course, will be disinfected prior to them being handed to any members for the voting process. Okay, so that's pretty much where we're at right now.
I just want to say kudos to the newly appointed interim election board. It takes a lot of commitment and passion, I think, to step up. We didn't have a whole lot of people stepping up when we looked for this. Understanding things under this COVID pandemic happened very quickly, unexpectedly, and people had to step up and take the opportunity to do it quickly and to make sure they were qualified. So I really want to congratulate and say kudos to the election board. Not sure who they all are. Twylite, can you tell us who's all on the interim board?
Sure, I have I think most of everybody's name. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
It's myself, Twylite Moore. Margaret King is our vice president right now. Patricia Moore is still our secretary, and Steve Webster has been appointed. I believe there's Lisa Duff and Terry Thomas as well as Kimberly, I'm not sure of her last name, but we have Kimberly, and we have one more other member that, William Cornelius, I believe, is the other.
Okay, and are they posted? Are those names posted anywhere, or will they be posted?
I'm not sure. We can definitely post them on the site.
That would be good. I think that'd be helpful.
Mm-hmm. And people, if you're looking for election board information, please check the election board site. We're trying to post as much information there as possible.
Okay, good, good. What about the enrollment cards, since we're not able to administer or to give more updated enrollment cards? Mm-hmm. Is there some other way? Will the driver's license still be?
Yes, yes. I do believe that the law states a picture voter ID is required. So it doesn't state that it has to be a tribal membership. We do, of course, appreciate if you know your tribal ID number. If you have your current tribal ID, that would be perfect. However, if you don't have those things, if you bring along a driver's license, a state ID, anything with a picture that has your information on it, we're gonna accept that as.
All right. Will there be a mail out with a sample ballot mail out so everybody knows who's running and for what position?
I'm not sure if we have the time to or the resources financially to mail out a sample ballot to the membership. I do believe that was something that we kind of looked at prior to, with regard to the voting options, is looking at mail-in balloting or mail-out ballots. At the time, due to the time frame, I think it's going to cost around $5,000 just to mail out a ballot to every tribal member. There is no guarantee that those ballots would come back, so we didn't look at doing that. I don't think that we'll be emailing or mailing a ballot out, but they'll definitely be posted in prominent areas. They'll be on the website, and it'll be noticed in the gully.
If you get the ballot to us, we'll make sure that we put it on the COVID webpage. We'll put it on our Facebook, put it on our tribal website. We'll make sure that we can get it as much as possible as well, and remind people as to where to look for that. So as soon as you get to us, we'd be more than happy to do that for you. Is the election board policing the signs on the reservation? Are they removing any signs?
I do believe that earlier in the process there was some violations that were occurring. Candidates were notified as to whether or not their sign was in fact in violation. They were given a time frame to correct that violation. We did have, I believe, one candidate that or a sign that wasn't able to be removed. I don't know what the circumstances were regarding that. I don't know if they were physically unable to come and move the sign, if they were sick, if there was something else going on. But there was a sign that was removed due to the time frame of the person receiving the notice, not hearing back from them as to whether or not there was a reason, and due to their, like I said, the notice and the time frame. So a number of days had lapsed since the person received the notice of the violation. We weren't hearing anything back from them. It was unfair to the other candidates to just leave it the way it was, and so yes, it was removed.
Okay, all right, thank you. What about additional checks and balances? Have you had to implement any additional checks and balances with this different type of an election?
Yes, we definitely have. As far as like the voting process in and of itself, securing ballots, ensuring that the votes are going to be counted, and offering this new drive-through voting option has definitely created an additional step for us. As far as like, taking the ballot, do the drive-up voting option, membership won't be able to actually place their personal ballot into the machine. We'll have a poll worker doing that, but they will be able to see that their ballot has been placed in the machine and see that it has been accepted.
Okay, how will that happen if the person's going to drive up? Okay.
They remain at the voting station until their ballot is accepted, and we are still in limbo as to exactly how we're going to ensure that portion of it, or have there's some options there that we have, whether or not we're going to have a security officer there to escort the ballot, and the person should be in the view of the driver at all times. Or if we're going to, in addition to that, have video available to the membership. So there will be a large screen there. As you drive up, there will be a screen that you can see.
So you're
and you'll
working
be able to
on
watch
that?
it. Yes, we're working on it.
All right. Why was the date changed from July 4th? Is it legal?
That I don't know. We did not change the date and we didn't take any action. This new board did not take any action to change the date. My understanding was that it was usually the 4th of July as well, but I believe that that was action under another board.
Okay. So we don't know the answer to that. Let me see. I had another question here. Will there be absentee ballots? No.
No.
The Constitution would have to be changed for absentee ballots. I think I covered all the questions asked me. Oh, I know one of the questions was, it was a statement, it wasn't so much a question, but you're assuming all elders get up early. And if you create a certain time frame, that's more of an encouragement to come during that time frame.
Right.
But the elders can still vote at 1 minute to 7.
They can,
as long as any time they want. But you just want to encourage them and add some special things to help them out.
Right.
So elders can vote any time, but you want to carve out a preferred time.
The purpose of allowing that special time set aside for the elders is to try to minimize their risk if they choose to do so. And we wanted to make sure that they had enough time to come in and vote and not be rushed or have to be, worried about exposing themselves to a larger crowd, and try to minimize that exposure risk as much as possible.
How did we get around the requirement of a 2/3 majority of a subsequent GTC in order to change the date from July 4th? Again, I think that same answer is that wasn't under your, as you were on the board. However, I'm going to speculate that it was due to the pandemic, due to the public health emergency, due to the COVID, due to the state safer at home. As we know, the state of Wisconsin opened up their election and seen a surge of the positive cases after that. So I think it was in the best interest of the health and safety of the nation. I can't say that for sure, but if you want to email the COVID task force or call 869-4481, perhaps they can get you that documentation. So I just want to say it's a little bit of common sense that we did not want to endanger a lot of people during that time. We were thinking of the health, safety, and the welfare of everybody. If you're out of town that day, how can you vote? Well, you can't because we do not have absentee ballots. But the polls are open at what time?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. till 7 p.m. So if you can delay getting out of town, unless you're already out of town, 7 a.m. is when they're open.
Or if you're passing through Milwaukee, you can stop in and drop in your
There's
vote.
also polls open in Milwaukee, that's right. Okay, let's see. Some questions and comments that are not relevant. All right. Will the elections go on, rain or shine?
Yes.
Yes. Snow?
Yep. Yep. 90-degree weather, we're doing it.
Do we still need alternate board members?
I don't believe we are looking for any more alternates. We will be requesting or, putting a notice out there that we will be looking for volunteers to come in and still assist that actual day of the voting.
And what kinds of things will the volunteers be needed for?
Just for like maybe traffic direction, kind of just, letting people know, giving them information as they're coming through, handing out, PPE if someone doesn't have it. So.
Okay. Well, we want to thank everybody here today. The questions were really good. We know there's a lot of people wondering about the elections. There's absolutely going to be an election.
Yes.
On July 25th, and I guess we have to have that little caveat that if there's a major outbreak, I mean, that's a month away. And, you know, God help us that we stay home, that we stay safe, that we continue to keep our numbers low, that we continue to respect the safer at home, and that we continue to try to make sure we practice safe distancing, sanitizing, wearing the masks, all those things, that we keep our numbers and we manage them here so that we're not caught up in another outbreak. So we're really hoping that we can you know, move through the pandemic and have a safe recovery and a full recovery in terms of getting all of our people back to a safe environment. In closing, we want to remind you, to be Oneida is a gift. It's a gift we receive from those who've journeyed before us, a gift that's shared with those who journey with us, and that's a gift that we pass on to those who will journey after us. That's our gift, to be Oneida. Yawanko, Skana.